Welcome. New York Fights welcomes Gabriela Fundora, who is currently the IBF World Flyweight Champion, who in a few days hopes to become the undisputed, unified Flyweight Champion and the youngest ever undisputed champion in boxing. Good morning, Gabby.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So if you win on Saturday, you would break a record that's currently held by, do you know who it's held by?
I believe it's Devin Haney.
It is
And
Devin Haney. Devin Haney is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the youngest ever undisputed champion at age 23 and 200 days. Now, you'll do it at age 22. It's 22 and how many months?
let's see, what are we in?
It's,
November,
still
December.
October, one more day.
Yeah, 7 months.
So 7 months. So about a year younger than Devin. Was this a goal that you thought about early on in your career, or is it approached? Did you realize, hey, I could do this thing?
The goal originally was to become undisputed. Now that it's like a little cherry on top that it's the youngest, it'll be the youngest undisputed. So
So it's
now
a bonus.
I think last year it became the goal to kind of do the youngest undisputed. It's like I want to be in the history books for that.
And you are going to be fighting another Gabriela. It's the Battle of the Gabbies. It's this Saturday in Las Vegas at the theater at the Virgin Hotels, and you'll be fighting Gabriela Alaniz of Argentina, who is 15-1 with 6 knockouts. Uh, Tell us a little bit about your opponent as you see her through your eyes. Hi.
Oh,
An interview with the Fundoras is always a family affair.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about your opponent as you've positioned her as you approach this fight.
Um, I don't do the research. I just know that I just have to train hard, and I think we have all the tools. Hopefully, she came in 100%. I expect that. It's a unified, undisputed. So
Well, and she is defending 3 belts,
yeah,
so she certainly has motivation. And the Ring Magazine belt is also on the line, which is extraordinary to have all of those belts together. Uh, I think many people know, but for those who don't, you are part of a fighting family.
yeah.
Your father is a trainer, and your brother is also champion, although he's not an undisputed champion. Sebastian, he is also in your corner, correct? Your family is always in the corner for your fights.
Yes, yes, yep. We always have it.
How important a component is that, and has that been to your career? And what what edge does that give you over your opponents to have family behind you, literally behind you in those fights?
I wouldn't have it any other way. I think the best duo in boxing is always the having your, in my case, daughter and father relationship, but family is they know what you're thinking, and I know I can trust them, and they're my extra pair of eyes. So it's just, honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Does it give you that bonus of communication? You don't have a lot of time to communicate between rounds in a fight. You think that also is a benefit to you that your opponents just can't duplicate?
Of course, I like said, they know what I'm thinking. They're my extra pair of eyes. So I know that, say they see something from their side of in the corner in the ring, they'll go and catch it, and then boom, we'll put it out there.
And the trust factor also must be an enormous asset in, anytime you approach a fight.
Of
If they're
course.
talking to you, you have the ability to trust anything they tell you.
And that and respect. Respect is a key part of in that relationship. You gotta have the respect for your coach, your trainer. And then respect for yourself too. So it's just a big factor in that.
And you train together, and your mother, I think a lot of people don't know, was also an amateur boxer herself. And many times it's difficult for the parents of professional fighters to see their children in the ring. In your case, both your parents completely understand what's going on in the ring. Do they ever, though, express any concerns for you, your safety, and your brother for that matter? Because this is not an easy sport.
Oh, of course, but that's why they we've been in the game for so long, so it there are parents, of course, they're gonna always worry for our concern and everything, but that where we do everything smart. That's why we train smart. We're not gonna do all these other extra things that unnecessary, and we just try to be as perfect as we possibly can for the fight.
Perfect is also always an admirable goal. You are from the high desert area of California, Coachella, California, and it strikes me that there is a unique boxing culture in the high desert. There are more and more young, talented fighters coming out of the high desert. Why do you think that that area is just so full of talent?
It must be either the sand or something.
The desert air, maybe. Well, the ability to train year round is certainly, you know, not a small thing. You're not going out for a morning run in the snow, Gabby. Thank God. And you have a base of support there in the high desert that's also extraordinary. Your key venue out there, Fantasy Springs, it does not matter who is on a card. The fans are there
They'll
and
show, they'll
they
show.
know you and support you. How important was that early in your career?
I think they just it's very important. People, they're the I think once they grab onto you and know that you're representing them, it's like a magnet almost. It's a moth to a flame that they're gonna support you 100%. And honestly, that's awesome. I love it when my city supports me.
They do. That's just not no doubt about it. And I see them approach you at fights. You're very approachable, and that is why we're there for the fans. In the long term. And you are also in a large way representing women's boxing, which is having a moment. The timing of you coming up in your career at this time, is there recognition at your end and your family to think, gosh, this is the time. Women are finally breaking through. We are drawing fans to the sport, and the opportunities are finally there for you. How much has that helped you get to where you're 2 days away, potentially, from becoming the world's youngest undisputed boxing champion?
Yeah, it's only gonna get bigger. It's only gonna get bigger. We're gotta thank the boxers, female boxers that came before me. The Jackie Navas, the Layla Ali's. They all worked hard to get to where we're at today. So it's just it's
And
just
I've heard you
it,
mention some of those names, Jackie Nava. I've heard you mention Christy Martin as well. Who are your boxing influences outside your family? Because I imagine you might name your brother first, but women and male boxers, which ones have you looked to and said, that is somebody I can learn from and take away tips from?
I always like and hard hitters. So for the males, it would have to be Arthur Beterbiev, very very strong Gennady. Um, for the females, I always like looking at Christy Martins because we like to see the knockouts, and I like to see Ann Wolf. They're there's so many that they just inspire and kind of pave the way.
It's interesting that you named Gennady Golovkin. Having been ringside at many of your fights, and you've had stoppages in two of your last three, you have a very similar punching technique to Golovkin with the way you turn the wrist over as you punch. Is that deliberate, or was that something you naturally did and have enhanced it?
It's just the coaching, just that's how I box. And yeah,
I-
practice. You're gonna get perfect at sooner or later. So yeah.
Um, we see you also at a lot of fights. You seem to be a real student. You are in the crowd a lot. Is that important for you to be out, be seen? And do you enjoy being ringside watching everyone else get in there?
Of course, I enjoy it. It's just the thrill of the boxing. It excites me for my next fight. I get excited that okay, now I get to showcase what I'm gonna do next, and I like to give back to the fans. You know, these fans come out and they're supporting us. So why not give them the moment to take picture, talk to them, and just reach out back to them.
A final question. One thing that strikes me about you that's truly extraordinary, it's not your punching technique, it's not your wins, it's your confidence. You have enormous confidence. It's not outsized. It's very humble. It's a very natural confidence. So many people, and I would say in the generation you're coming from, struggle with confidence. How do you develop confidence? What's your advice to them to build some of the confidence that you bring into the ring and bring into your sport?
I think with anything that you do, you just gotta perfect it and continue working hard at it. Continue having that drive towards it, and everything else kind of just blurs out and goes into the background. It's background noise. So you just gotta believe in yourself, and honestly, that it's gonna take you far.
Practice makes perfect. Is it that
Sure.
simple?
Yep.
Well, if practice makes perfect, practice, we hope, will bring you to becoming the world's youngest undisputed boxing champion on Saturday, November 2nd, live on DAZN for those that can't make it to Las Vegas, correct?
Of course. Yep. Con-
All right, it's the
con-
Battle of the Gabbies, everybody. Gabriela Fundora will be fighting Gabriela Alaniz on Saturday, and Gabby, best of luck to you. We'll be watching.
Thank you, Go. Thank you.